I recently read the 12-week yearbook and I loved it so much that I wanted to share my 8 lessons that I took from it. If you're a person that wants to plan the year ahead, if you're like me, into goal setting, or if you've never done goal setting, this is a game changer. If you're someone that says there is not enough time or you struggle to focus, this is the book for you. Achieving your goals is a lot easier because you're breaking them down. I hope that this video, the book and all these lessons inspire you as much as they inspired me. But without further ado, join me to explore the lessons. Lesson number 1, and by far the best lesson I learned from the book, it's you don't have to do it all at once. So the biggest takeaway was that you don't actually have to achieve everything. Let's say you've got a big goal, right? This book very easily invites you to break it down in chunks so that you can concentrate on one skill or one piece of that particular goal. And let's be honest, we have massive goals. We all want to do so much, and at the end of the day, sometimes we end up doing nothing. And what you don't want to do is just that. When you only have 12 weeks, and let's not forget, every year you're gonna have 4 12 weeks, right? So if you have a massive goal that will require a time frame of, let's say, 1 to 3 years, why not just break it down into small chunks or small little goals that you need to achieve in order to achieve your main goal? The other important thing to consider is that because you've got 12 weeks and you've got many 12 weeks, is that you don't have to achieve everything at the same time. A lot of the times when we create New Year's resolutions, for example, are the perfect example for this. We create too many and then we end up doing none of those, because by the time the 3rd or the 4th week goes by, we haven't achieved much. We don't have a measuring system. So in sales and marketing, for example, so we measure progress and then you tweak your actions based on that. One thing that I've learned with the other YouTube channel that we've got, is that focusing maybe on one thing at a time for a few weeks, it helps you to get better, although you're not changing everything within the same goal, within the same action. You just concentrate on one tiny piece. Any goal that is going to change your life is worth waiting for the end result. So now what you want is to take action now, and that's by far the one thing that is going to move the needle for us, right? Taking action as fast as possible. However, progress, whether it's in your personal life, in your professional life, in your business, or in a business that you work for, it takes time. And I think sometimes we don't allow time, and we're not flexible enough, and we're not adaptable to make those changes. So the book tells you concentrate on fewer goals. So 1 to 3 goals maximum. That's it. Lesson 2. When we're doing, let's say, annual goals, when we're planning ahead, it's exactly the same. When you're planning ahead annually for your company, for example, it's such a long time, and you just postpone things because you think, oh well, I've got a whole year. But then what we don't realize is that the days go really quickly, the weeks go really quickly, and the year goes very quickly. And at the end of the year, we're struggling. We're like, oh, why didn't we get results? Thinking of 12 weeks gives you urgency and gives you focus. When you think of a longer term, when you have too many goals, because you've got such a long time, right, to complete them and to finish, it removes the urgency and you're juggling too many things. So when you juggle too many things, it removes your attention. You have attention everywhere, and it removes the focus that you should have in that one goal or those 2 goals that really matter to you. I've done goal setting for most of my life. I've loved it. I've loved everything, every single bit of it, and it has helped me a lot. But I am guilty. I am very guilty of creating too many goals. My main biggest problem is that my attention has been divided. And because of this, it has taken that commitment from that 1 or 2 things, and that's it. But you don't have to feel guilty, because yes, there are other things, that there are other goals that we have with our family, with our kids, with our jobs, with our careers, with our business. And I know there are many things that we can become better at, and there are skills that we need to master, but we can't do it at once because it gets too overwhelming. So 12 weeks is a lot easier because it's fewer goals, a shorter period of time. 12 months is too long. So let's forget about 12 months. So now lesson 3 is focus on key actions. Remember when I said actions is what is going to move the needle for us? Well, it's exactly that, but then it's about being specific. It's about intentionality with our actions. And this is why this book is such a good book. It gives you that mindset to 1, take action, but 2, it's about choosing what actions are required for you to achieve that particular goal. That's going to make your life so much easier. It's going to make your life so much better. So why not be intentional about it? So we've got 12 weeks rather than a year, but we also have to be intentional with our tasks, with the actions that we're going to commit to ourselves to do every single day, or to have a chunk, or to set a chunk of time to complete them, because they're important, because they matter, because just like that 1 or 2 or 3 goals, whatever you're choosing, less is more. Always less is more. And this is such an easy and well-known fact, but we just ignore it. This book is a very good reminder of that. Lesson 4, measure to improve. So this is remember when I said to you that in marketing and sales we measure to improve results? Well, this is true for any goal setting, for any goals that we want to achieve. And this is not news. It's not something we don't know. This is something that is required and is good and is needed. But sometimes we don't do it. Let's be honest. So let's do it. So the lesson number 4 is to measure. So tracking progress is important, by being flexible about that progress and being honest with ourselves is important. And how often are you tracking? With the book, it's recommended to track once a week. So you track all your actions and your performance. So it's not just the performance, it's your actions. Those actions we were talking about in lesson 3, those are the actions that we're going to track. How many of those did we do? And then we need to add a percentage. How many of those? So when you have your actions, how many of those actions do you actually complete? And what's that number? What's the percentage of actions completed? We compare our actions with our performance. Is it moving the needle? Are we moving in the right direction to achieve our goal at the end of the 12 weeks? If we're not, because by the time you get to week 4, week 6, week 8, you've got a very good understanding, a very good idea whether you're going to achieve your goal at the end of the 12 weeks. So, but what it does is it helps you to change your mindset, to do better, and just to review, and then you can modify your habits. At the end of the day, habits do take time for you to set new habits. So it's just like creating a new set of habits. Remember, less is more. So how can you simplify your life? If you've got too much on your plate, can you perhaps hire someone to take some of that so you can concentrate on the main things, on the main chunky bits? What's needed? What's more important? And let's say, if per se you're really struggling to do those actions and to achieve your goal, can you perhaps change it because there is something more urgent or pressing at the moment? And then maybe at the end of the 12 weeks you can reset that particular goal because you're not doing anything about it. But it gives you that opportunity to improve. So it's not about feeling guilty, it's about taking all that energy and saying, okay, I screwed up, not doing as well as I wanted to. How can I do better? And this leads me into lesson 5, embrace imperfection. So it's not about being perfect. The aim is not perfection. Perfect is just a killer of dreams. Perfection is the killer of progress. And when you're aiming for perfection, what happens is that you start blaming yourself and you start feeling guilty, and you take all that energy that you actually need for those goals that you want, you're just wasting it. And then that energy you need to pursue your goals, to pursue those 1 or 2 or 3 goals, or that main goal that you really want, that is really going to change your life, is really going to make a difference. So it's not about being perfect, it's about doing better each day. What's the one thing that I can do tomorrow to be better? And doing it and taking time to do it. Messy, flawed, however it is, but just doing it. Lesson 6, time matters. So let's plan it wisely. The book suggests taking your time into 3 time blocks. And the first one is a strategic block, which is 3 hours of focused work early in the week. Buffer blocks, so it's 30 minutes to 1 hour for quick tasks and admin. So your emails, your phone calls with your admin team or your team. So things that are not necessary, that are urgent and are necessary, but they're not going to move the needle for your goal. And breakup blocks, which is 3 hours for fun and relaxation to recharge. Now, breakup blocks is normally not advised for you to put it in on every single week at the beginning of your, for example, the first few weeks. Don't book too many. So the book says even 1 a month is enough for the beginning, for the beginning of the 12 weeks at least. I would say for strategic blocks, which are the 3 hours of actions that are really going to move the needle with your goal, just divide the tasks that you need to do, and again, try to keep it as simple as you can. See, how can I simplify this task? How can I make it easier for myself to do? And I would suggest to do as many 3 blocks a week as possible. And you don't have to do, 1 every single day, but maybe you can do 1 on Monday, 1 on Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday for other things. But this is why you review once a week. You're going to review your whole week. So that will be your defining moment. Are you doing well? Are you on time, on target for your goal? If you're not, then what can you do to perhaps simplify your tasks? How can you simplify doing the task better or easier? Because let's be honest, if something's too difficult, you're not going to do it. We don't tend to do something that is too hard. So the easier that you can make your tasks, the better. Some things are going to be difficult, like cold calling, doing videos, doing webinars, trying to connect with people. Those things take time. They're not necessarily easy sometimes. Can you find a way to enjoy them? Can you find, if you do have to do a lot of phone calls per se with strangers, and there's going to be a lot of rejection and you don't like that, and it's hurtful. Come on, I don't like to be rejected, and I've worked in sales for a while, so sales and marketing for a while, there is a lot of rejection, and in life there is a lot of rejection. So how can we make those things that are hard easier? How can we make them more enjoyable? How can we make them fun? How can we make them easier to complete, to do? Is there anything that you can do next week that will help you to perhaps do them? And let's say if you miss your block for it on Monday, can you reschedule it for Tuesday? Can you reschedule it for Wednesday or Thursday? And let your family know, and let your employer or your employees or whoever it is that needs to be informed. I'm going to be busy during these times. If the goal that you've got and the actions that you need to do are for your job, do them within your block the time within your work time, or even before work, or something like that. If it's for your business, can you do those actions during normal working hours? If it's not possible, can you do it before or can you do it after? I'm a morning person, so I have to do my blocks either before 9 o'clock or within my 9 to 5, or at least 9 to 2, because that's when I am most productive. But some people are most productive at night. So you choose what works for you. You do you. And the simpler the better. Lesson 7, accountability is ownership. This is going to hurt. So accountability, a lot of the times we say to ourselves, I need someone to keep me accountable, or I need to join this group because I want to be more accountable. But I want to invite you to take accountability as ownership. It's me saying to myself, I am going to do this because I said I would. So accountability is not when someone's yanking at you to do something. You do it because you said you would. Accountability is about being responsible for yourself. So although you can join groups, the book actually suggests that we have a meeting with someone or with a group of people every single week. And this is to review your progress, or not to review your progress, to talk about your progress, to tell someone else about it. So you can have accountability as a whole once you have accountability with yourself. So you can report it to other people. You can use that for other people to kind of give you a nudge, just so that you can say to them, this is what I'm doing, and I've kept these promises to myself, and I've done these, and this is my progress. So you can report to other people, but you need to be accountable to yourself. Commitment is a big part of it. Commitment helps you to build trust with yourself, which improves your self-esteem and your self-confidence. So I definitely say, this is one thing, keeping up with my commitments to myself and others has been a game changer. And let's be honest, sometimes we don't do it, sometimes we fail to do so, and it's fine. We are human beings and we are imperfect. We're not perfect. Remember, it's not perfection we're trying to aim here. And we can make a mistake, but it's how can we correct it? If we haven't kept a commitment, whether it's with ourselves or with someone else, how can we correct it? Let's not waste energy about feeling guilty. Yes, you can feel guilty about it, okay, say. But instead, use all that energy to say, how can I make it better? How can I correct that mistake? And then next time, if I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it because I said I would. So again, accountability is responsibility with ourselves. And this is key. When we're building trust with others, when we're building reputation, it's important to keep our commitments. If we say we're going to do something, we do it. And that's it. And that's something that we can all take and we can all be better at. Myself included, and you.
And last but not least, lesson 8, let go of excuses. The book shares the story of Danny Fuentes. It's the story of a wrestler who lost his arms and legs as a child, but still achieved some incredible things. It's a powerful reminder that, sometimes we make excuses for ourselves. Why? I just think it's because we want to make ourselves feel better about things, and we want to justify the fact that we didn't complete something, or that something wasn't good enough, we weren't good enough, and excuses only set us back. It just means that we're basically lying to ourselves, I think, because I think we're losing control, we're giving control to something else. Oh, time, we ran out of time, or this happened, or that person, or I couldn't do it because of this. So you're taking, so this is the ball, and you're passing it about to external factors. Why don't you say, I'm going to own up to it. I own this ball. It's my life, it's my actions, and I'm taking responsibility for what I do. Not because time. I am the one that controls time, so why am I going to give it away? Is that. Let's take control. Let's forget about excuses, and let's take absolute control of what we do, of our actions, our results, and what we want from life. And taking control of our actions means that we are letting go of the victim card. I am a victim. No, you're not a victim. We are not victims here. We are owners of our time. We are owners of our lives. We can change that and treat that victim mentality like a plague. You're not a victim. Don't be surrounded by victims. In fact, if someone else is complaining about something, be that person that leads them. Be that person that inspires them. Be the leader that you want in your life. Friends, final thoughts on the 12-week year book. So let's use this book to create focus, build momentum, take ownership, and really focus on the actions that we're taking every day. And I hope that this has been useful. If you liked it, please like the video, please share it with friends or your network, and don't forget to subscribe. And please tell me in the comments, what was your favorite lesson? Have you read it? What's your biggest takeaway from the book? What other books would you recommend to our networks, your network and mine? I hope you have a fantastic year ahead. I hope 2025 is the best year for you, and I'm rooting for you. If you've got nobody else to tell you this, let me be your biggest fan. And I know that with focus and patience, you and I can do amazing things. I'll see you soon, my friends.